Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, PNP's Vaz gives a context to photo of him and a person of interest. Former People's National Party Member of Parliament Dwayne Vaz has sought to give context to a photograph that has been circulating of him and a person of interest in the shooting incident in Negril, Westmoreland on Friday. 4 men were fatally shot and a 5th was wounded after the police intercepted a group of robbers who were reportedly plotting to attack a beryllium courier truck. In a statement Tuesday, Mr. Vaz said the photograph was taken during a school sports day event. He said both he and the man were wearing orange shirts representing the sports day color for the house to which his son was assigned.
That person in question and I were present, wearing orange shirts that represented the sports day house color for the group to which my son was assigned. The man in question is a teacher at the school where my son is a student, and his presence was purely in his capacity as an educator responsible for the orange house on sports day.
The PNP said the shooting in Negril is a serious incident that requires the full attention and cooperation of the community and the law enforcement. It says diverting attention from this serious incident to push political agendas hinders the efforts of the police in solving one of the most significant crimes to have occurred in Westmoreland in recent times. The news was informed that the person of interest is in custody. Staff and the patients at Anota Bay Hospital grapple with a faulty elevator. For the last 3 weeks, health care workers at Anota Bay Hospital in St. Mary have resorted to an alternative route to transport the patients due to a faulty elevator. It is reported that patients and the staff are frustrated since they have had to be traversing flights of stairs to move across the facility. Parish manager for the St. Mary Health Services, Shireen Wallace, who gave further details of the situation, said that the hospital's management is working to remedy the matter.
We would have done some repairs to the elevator. Supply would have come in, service provider, and did some repairs. However, since then, it has been up and down, and so we have reached out just to get an assessment of it based on the senior technician for the supplier coming in last week Thursday. We gathered that the circuit board that was placed in the elevator was not compatible to the elevator, and hence there are 2 parts now that would be required: the correct circuit board, which is being sourced, as well as another part. One of those parts is in the supplier's possession, and the other part is in transit from overseas, and we are expecting to have that in the island by next week early. Based on checks done with the team today, there's sufficient linen at the facility today, and we are indeed having a bit of a challenge as well with the dryer, but we have that process is in procurement in that of a replacement of a part as well, and we are working expeditiously to have that part through the procurement process in place at the facility to see to the repair of the dryer. But we have systems in place to ensure that we have sufficient linen at the facility.
Attorney hits out against the conditions under which Haitians are being housed in Jamaica. Attorney at law and the founder of Freedom Imaginaries, Melaine Alain, has hit out against the conditions under which Haitians are being housed in Jamaica. Several groups of Haitians have arrived in Jamaica by boat as the crisis in their homeland continues. The latest group of 35 Haitians arrived on Sunday and has since been sent home. Ms. Alain, while decrying the speed with which the government sent back the latest batch of Haitians, said those still here are in less than ideal conditions.
There are now at least 19 Haitian nationals languishing in tiny, dark, filthy jail cells in police lockups across Jamaica, including women, including persons with life-threatening health conditions, and they don't get to go outside. They don't have clean water, causing them to get sick, having to get medical treatment. The situation is extremely dire, and this practice of systematic detention for Haitians who enter through irregular channels to seek refuge in Jamaica, it is against international law. It should not continue. And if they are deprived of liberty, it must be in conditions that meet international and constitutional standards. And these conditions of detention are deplorable, and I would say very plainly and without any hesitation that they rise to the level of inhuman and degrading treatment under both our constitution and under international law.
More illegally cut lumber seized in Cockpit country. An additional 600 pieces of lumber, which were allegedly cut illegally near Quickstep in the Cockpit country, have been seized by the Forestry Department days after a standoff between the authorities and the residents there. In a release on Tuesday, the Forestry Department said the pieces of lumber were illegally cut from the Forest Reserve, which forms a part of the Cockpit Country Protected Area. In a release on Tuesday, the Forestry Department said the pieces of lumber were illegally cut from the Forest Reserve, which forms a part of the Cockpit Country Protected Area. The team from the agency was supported by the Jamaica Constabulary Force in conducting the operation. The agency completed the 8-hour operation to retrieve the planks, which were hidden several miles inside the Forest Reserve, accessed from Quickstep, the Forestry Department said in its release. Quickstep is located on the North St. Elizabeth, South Trelawney border in the Cockpit country. 7 Forestry Department workers were allegedly barricaded in the area last weekend after they reportedly disrupted a major illegal logging operation. The team was impeded in conducting its lawful duties by more than 200 community members and the suspected illegal loggers who refused to allow them to take the seized lumber from the area. On Monday, the police imposed a 48-hour curfew in Quickstep and the neighboring communities, and the Forestry Department said this allowed its team to conduct Monday's operation without any adverse incident. Since the operation began on Friday, the agency has seized over 750 planks of board taken from various native trees, including the Jamaican mahogany, blue maho, bitter wood, bitter danzel, and the prickly yellow. Given the scale of the operation, it was evident that the activities were organized. It is clear that this is a well-coordinated and funded activity that had been executed over several weeks, the Forestry Department said. The department's Chief Executive Officer, Ainsley Henry, is encouraging Jamaicans to question the source of local lumber being purchased. Anyone who is trading in locally produced timber must have a valid and current sawmill license. If you are unsure of what it looks like, you can visit our website for an example, said Henry. On Monday, Occompong Maroon Chief Richard Curry doubled down on his claim that his people own the land in the protected area. The Maroons are within their right to defend their territory, to defend the forest. Chief Curry is not a lumberer. Chief Curry is a defender of the earth, defender of the culture. That is all I have been doing since I have come here, and I have been asking for dialogue to resolve long-standing issues, particularly the one with Quickstep and the illicit lumbering there. Curry said on Instagram Live Monday morning in denying accusations of him being involved in illegal logging. Man gets a 2-year prison sentence for selling rented car. A man who pleaded guilty to selling a rented vehicle was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment on Tuesday. 32-year-old Warren Hanson was sentenced when he appeared in the St. Catherine Parish Court before Parish Court Judge Janelle Nelson Gale. The facts outlined were that on May 21, 2024, Hanson rented a Honda Fit motor car in St. Catherine valued at $1.8 million. He failed to return the vehicle and sold it in Clarendon. The matter was reported to the Portmore police and an investigation launched. Hanson was arrested and subsequently charged with a simple larceny. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.